me. So we're gonna be continuing what we had last time, right? Because that was just in the middle of somewhere. Okay, so let me just open your book. So let's have the continuation of remember and forget. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Cool. Okay, let me just have this part here because that was the letter. Do you remember when to use capital letters in English? Do you remember when to use capital letters in English? Yes, no. No, I don't remember
I don't remember
when to use
when to
capital
use
letters
capital letters
in
in
English.
English.
So you cannot ask tell me. Okay, so do you remember the name of this thing? Do you remember the name of this thing? Yes, I
Yes, I
remember.
remember
The name
the
of that
name of
thing.
that thing.
It's a
It's a pen.
it's a pen, correct. And do you ever forget to answer emails? Do you ever forget to answer emails? Yes, I sometimes
Yes, I
forget
sometimes forget
to answer
to
emails.
answer
Answer
emails.
emails. Yep. Do you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Do you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Yes, I
Yes,
sometimes
I
forget
sometimes forget
the names or
the names
faces,
or and
faces
faces
or
or
faces
faces
of people I know. Of people I
of
know.
people I know.
Of people I know. Right? Another. Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? No, we
No,
aren't nearly
we aren't nearly
at the end of the
at
lesson.
the end of the lesson.
Yep. Are you nearly in autumn? You're nearly in autumn. No, we aren't
No, we
nearly
aren't nearly
in
in
autumn.
autumn.
Yep. Is it nearly time to go to bed? Is it nearly time to go to bed? No, it
No, it
isn't.
isn't.
Nearly
Nearly
time
time
to go to
to
bed.
go to bed.
Yep. Are you always, or let's say for example, only nearly? Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Yes, no.
No,
No, I'm not
I'm
nearly
not nearly
always
always
the last
the
person to
last
get up
person to get up
in my family.
in my family.
What's the negative of I was? What's the negative of I was? The
The
negative of I
negative of
was.
I
Not
was.
me. The
The
negative of
negative of
I
I
was
was
is
is
I wasn't.
I wasn't.
What's the negative of you were? What's the negative of you were? The negative
The
of you
negative
were.
of you were.
The negative
The
of you were
negative of you were
is you
is
weren't.
you weren't.
Yep. Was I at this school 50 years ago? 50. Was I at this school 50 years ago? No, you
No, you
weren't.
weren't.
At that
At
school
that school
50 years
50
ago.
years ago.
What about you? Were you here 1,000 years ago? Were you here 1,000 years ago? No, I wasn't
No, I
here
wasn't here
a
a
thousand
thousand
years ago.
years ago.
Yep. So I'll just put thousand. I like thousand. Okay. What about this one? Were you here 100 years ago? Were you here 100 years ago? No, I
No,
wasn't
I
here
wasn't here
100 years ago.
100 years ago.
Yep. Okay. Another. Was she in a different classroom last lesson? Was she in a different classroom last lesson? No, she
No, she
wasn't.
wasn't.
No, she
No, she
wasn't in
wasn't
a different
in a
classroom
different classroom
last lesson.
last lesson.
Were we in this world 90 years ago? 90. Were we in this world 90 years ago? No, we
No, we
weren't
weren't
in this
in
world
this world
90 years
90
ago.
years ago.
Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? The other student. Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? No, they
No,
weren't
they weren't
outside
outside
the
the
classroom during
classroom during
the last
the
lesson.
last lesson.
They were inside.
They were inside.
Yep. Are there any fields near where you live? Are there any fields near where you live? Yes, no.
No,
No, there aren't
there
any
aren't
fields
any fields
near where I live.
near where I live.
Yep. Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Yes, the number of people
Yes, the number of people
in my
in
town
my
is
town
always
is always
increasing.
increasing.
Yep. Are there a lot of battles in a war? Are there a lot of battles in a war? Yes, there are a
Yes,
lot of
there are a lot
battles
of battles
in a war.
in a war.
Yep. Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Yes, there
Yes,
were.
they were.
A lot of
A lot of
battles.
battles
There. There. Battles in Europe
battles in Europe
during the Second World
during the
War.
Second World War.
Yep. Wow. Okay, so where's my left hand? Where's my left hand? Your left
Your
hand's
left
over
hand's over
the
the
table.
table.
Where's my right hand? Where's my right hand? Your
Your
right
right
hand's over
hand's over
the
the
pen.
pen.
This time my left hand's on the table. Where's my left hand now? Where's my left hand now? Your left
No,
hand's on
your
the
left hand's on the
table now.
table now.
Where's my right hand now? Where's my right hand now? Your right
Your
hand's
right
over
hand's over
the pen
the
now.
pen now.
Hey, what do we say my left hand is on the table, but my right hand is over the pen? What do we say my left hand is on the table, but my right hand is over the pen? We say my
We
left
say
hand,
my
or
left
your left
hand.
hand, your left
Your
hand
left hand
is on the
is on
table,
the table,
but your right
but your
hand
right
is
hand is
over the
over
pen
the pen
because your left
because
hand
your
is not
left hand is not
covering the table
covering the
completely,
table completely,
whereas your right
whereas
hand
your right
is
hand is
covering the pen
covering the pen
completely.
completely.
What's over our heads? What's over our heads? The ceiling's
The
over
ceiling's over
our
our
heads.
heads.
What's over that building? What's over that building? The sky's
The
over
sky's over
This
This
building.
building.
This time I want you to put your right hand over your pen, please. Only an example. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm putting my
I'm
right
putting my
hand
right hand
over the pen.
over the pen.
Yep, put your right hand over your mouth, please. Right there. Yeah, so where's your right hand? Where's your right hand? My right hand.
My right hand's
Where? Over my?
over my mouth.
Yep, that's correct. Okay, another. Do you think it's a bad idea to go to England if you want to learn, let's say English well, specific? Do you think it's a bad idea to go to England if you want to learn English well? No, I don't think.
No, I don't think
It's a bad
it's a
idea
bad idea
to go to
to
England
go to England
if I want to
if I
learn
want to
English
learn
well.
English well.
I think it's a good
I
idea.
think it's a good idea.
Yep. Do you think it's a bad idea? Or let's say, for example, this time good. Do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Again, do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Yes, no. I think it's a
I
good
think it's a
idea
good idea
to learn some
to learn
English,
some English
before going to
before
England.
going to England.
Yep. Does it often snow in the warm countries of the world? Does it often snow in the warm countries in the world? No, it
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't.
Often
Often
snow
snow
in the warm
in the warm
countries
countries
of the world.
of the world.
It rarely
It rarely
snows.
snows.
Rarely
Rarely
snows
snows
in the warm
in
countries
the
of the
warm
world.
countries of the world.
Yep. Is it very often called in Africa? Is it very often called in Africa? No, it
No,
isn't.
it isn't.
Very often
Very
called in
often
Africa.
called in Africa.
It's very
It's
rarely
very
cold.
rarely cold.
Very rarely
Very,
cold.
rarely cold.
Really rarely
Rarely
cold.
cold.
Say rarely cold
Rarely cold
in Africa.
in Africa.
Okay, say it again. Rarely.
Rarely.
Yep. Do you go often? Do you go often? Do you often go to theater? You often go to theater? Yes, no. I don't often
No,
go.
I don't often go
Where? To the
to
theater.
the theater.
I
I
rarely go to the
rarely go
theater.
to the theater.
The sun often shines in the north of Europe in winter. Does the sun often shine in the north of Europe in winter? No, the sun
No, the
doesn't
sun doesn't
often
often
shine
shine
in the north of
in the
Europe.
north of Europe.
North of Europe
North of Europe
in winter.
in winter.
It rarely
It
shines.
rarely shines.
It rarely
It rarely
shines.
shines.
Rarely shines.
Rarely shines.
Not ray, it's ray. You can say ray.
Rarely shines.
Shines. That's correct. Another. Do you understand two people when they speak quickly in English or very quickly in English? Do you understand two people when they speak very quickly in English? Yes, no? No, I don't
I
understand.
don't understand.
Two
Two
people
people
when they speak
when
very
they
quickly
speak very quickly
in English.
in English.
Very quickly in
Very
English.
quickly in English.
Do you understand me everything I say during the lesson? Do you understand everything I say during the lesson? No, I don't
I
understand.
don't understand
Everything you say during
everything
the
you
lesson.
say during the
During the
lesson.
lesson. We understand.
Huh?
But I
But I
understand
understand
nearly everything
nearly
you say.
everything you say.
I hope so. Okay, another. If the first time you don't understand a question, let's say, for example, a teacher asks you, the teacher asks you, what must you do? If the first time you don't understand a question, the teacher asks you, what must you do? If the
If
first
the
time
first time
I don't
I
understand a
don't
question,
understand a question,
the teacher
the
asks
teacher
me,
asks me,
I must ask
I
her
must
to
ask her to
repeat it.
repeat it.
Yep, what exactly do you say to her? What exactly do you say to her? I say, I'm
I say,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't understand
I
a
don't
question.
understand a question.
Will you repeat it, please?
Will you repeat it, please?
So cute. Will you repeat it, please?
Will you repeat it, please?
Please.
Please.
Repeating. Dang, dang, dang. Okay, another. So do you think it's easy to stop smoking? Do you think it's easy to stop smoking? No, I don't
No, I
think
don't think
it's easy
it's
to
easy
stop
to stop
smoking.
smoking.
Smoking. Yep, what is the verb to talk mean? What does the verb to talk mean? The verb to
The
talk
verb to
means
talk means
the verb to talk
the
means
verb to talk means
to speak.
to speak.
Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? No, I don't
No, I
talk to
don't
my
talk
friends
to my friends
on my mobile every day.
on my mobile every day.
Mobile
every day.
What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? If I start
If I
talking
start talking
to the
to the
student next to
students
me,
next to me,
student next to me
student next to me
during the
during
lesson,
the lesson,
the teacher
the
generally
teacher
asks me.
generally
The teacher
generally asks me
to stop smoking.
stop
Smoking.
smoking.
Yeah, that's good.
To stop talking.
Stop talking. Stop smoking. Uy.
You wanna smoke?
No, I was wondering, like, when is, someone's knocking too much.
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, they stop smoking, oh. And then it's already in my mouth. Yeah, another. Is it right to say I'm talking English? Is it right to say I'm talking English? No, it isn't
No, it
right to
isn't
say
right to say
I'm talking
I'm talking
English.
English.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must
We must
say
say
I'm speaking
I'm
English
speaking English
instead.
instead.
Can you hear any voices in the next room? Can you hear any voices in the next room? No, I can't hear
I can't hear
any voices
voices
in the next room.
from the
In
next
the
next
next room.
room.
From the next room. Okay, another. So what's the past tense of the verb to do? What's the past tense of the verb to do? The past
The
tense
past
of
tense of
the verb to
the
do
verb
is
to do is
did.
did.
Yep, another. Let's go down here. How do you form the past tense of regular verbs? How do you form the past tense of regular verbs? We form the past tense of regular verbs by putting the letters
ed
at the end.
at the end.
Give an example. Give an example. For
For
example,
example,
walked.
walked.
I generally
I
walk to
generally
school.
walk to school.
Walk to school.
Walk to school.
I walked to
I
school.
walked to school
Yes.
yesterday.
Did you watch television last week? Did you watch television last week? Yes, I watched television
television
last week.
last week.
Yep. Did you walk to school yesterday? Did you walk to school yesterday? No, I didn't
No,
walk
I
to
didn't
school
walk to school
yesterday. Yeah, what did you use to answer the last question? What did you use to answer the last question? I used my voice to answer the last question. Yep. When did last season end? When did last season end? Last season ended on the last of what?
February.
Did you work last month? Did you work last month? Yes, I
Yes,
worked
I worked
last month. How long did last season last? How long did last season last? Last season lasted about 3 months. Yep. Did you live at home with your parents when you were a small child? Did you live at home with your parents when you were a small child? Yes, I lived at home with my parents when I was a small child. Yep. Did you move any parts of your body during the last lesson? Did you move any parts of your body during the last lesson? Yes, I moved some parts of my body during the last lesson. Okay, another. How do you make a negative sentence in the past tense? How do we make a negative sentence in the past tense? We make a negative sentence in the past tense by using the word did and the infinitive with to. Yep, good examples. Good examples. I didn't work last Saturday. Wednesday. Yeah. And how do you make a questions in the past tense? How do you make a question in the past tense? We make a question in the past tense by using the word did and the infinitive with to. With to. Another, give an example. Give an example. Did you work last Saturday? Last Saturday? Yep. I didn't. Only example. Did I ask you 1,000 questions during the last lesson? Okay. Did I ask you 1,000 questions last lesson? No, you didn't ask me. 1,000 questions last lesson. Did last lesson end at 11 p.m.? Did last lesson end at 11 p.m.? No, last lesson didn't end at 11 p.m. It ended at what time? 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 1 p.m.? 1 p.m. Okay, did you talk to anybody in your family last week? Did you talk to anybody in your family last week? Yes, I talked to somebody. To somebody in my family last week. Yep, did you call anybody on your mobile phone yesterday? Did you call anybody on your mobile phone yesterday? Yes, I called somebody on my mobile phone yesterday. Did you want to come to school today? Did you want to come to school today? Yes, I wanted to come.
Yes, I wanted to
come to school today. You are here, that's why. Okay, another. Can you see any trees from where you are sitting? Take a look at the window. Can you see any trees from where you are sitting? No. No, I can't see any trees from where I'm sitting. Yeah, because you're on the floor. Okay, another. Do you live on a farm? Do you live on a farm? No, I don't live on a farm. What's the plural of sheep? What's plural of sheep? The plural of sheep is sheep. Yep, names and animals we can see on a farm. Names and animals we can see on a farm. On a farm, we can see pigs, cows. Not pigs, cows, sheep, chickens, and horses.
horses. Where's the horse?
It's gone. No more. No more. I didn't like. No more voice like. Yeah. A different one. Okay, another. Is there peace between all the countries of the world at the moment? Yeah, I couldn't have all those things, right? Because watching, we're gonna be having those sounds like da da. Yeah, and then horse. That's it. No more voice out. Another. Is there peace between all the countries of the world at the moment? Is there peace between all the countries of the world at the moment? No, there isn't
No, there
peace
isn't peace
between all the
between all the
countries
countries
of the world
of
at the
the world
moment.
at the moment.
Yeah, maybe no peace. Maybe pieces. Pieces of
Pieces.
pieces of bread. Yeah, this time is peace only, right? Another. Can we measure exactly the quantity of water in the sea? Can we measure exactly the quantity of water in the sea? No, we can't
No,
measure
we can't measure
exactly the
exactly the
quantity
quantity
of water in the sea.
uh,
Of water
of
in the
water
sea.
in the sea.
Yep. Another. Is it necessary to study a lot if we want to learn a subject well? Is it necessary to study a lot if we want to learn a subject well? Yes, it's
Yes, it's
necessary
necessary
to study a
to
lot
study a lot
if we want
if
to
you want
learn
to learn
a
a
subject well.
subject well.
Subject well.
Subject well.
Yeah, me, when you have a meal in a restaurant, do you generally pay by cash or by credit card? Again, when you have a meal in a restaurant, do you generally pay by cash or by credit card? When I have a
When
meal
I
in a
have a
restaurant,
meal
meal in a
in a restaurant,
I generally
I
pay
generally
by.
pay by credit card.
And who takes the card from you? And who takes the card from you? The waiter
The
or
waiter
waitress
or waitress
takes the money
takes
from
the
you.
money from you.
From me?
You?
From me. From you.
From me.
Yes, right? So the card or the card
The
from me.
card from me.
Another. If I want to go from here to the station, must I go along Colon Street in Cebu? If I want to go from here to the station, must I go along Colon Street? Yes.
Yes, if
If you want
you
to
want
go
to go
from there to
from
the
there to the
station,
station,
you must
you
go
must
along
go along
Colon Street.
Callan Street.
Okay. So which streets do you walk along when you go home? Which streets do you walk along when you go home? I walk
I walk
along
along
right
ABC Street
street when I go home.
when I go home.
Yep. Is there a white line along the road from there to the next town? Is there a white line along the road from there to the next town? Yes, there is a
Yes,
white
there's a
line
white line
along the
along
road
the road
from here to the
from
next
here to the
town.
next town.
Yep, which is the quickest way to the station from there? Which is the quickest way to the station from there? The
The
quickest way
quickest way
to the
to
station
the
from
station
here
from here
is to go
is
along
to go along
where?
ABC
Thinking.
Street.
Okay, another. So, what's the best way to remember something very well? Which is the best way to remember something very well? The best way to
The best way
remember
to remember
something very
something
well
very well
is to repeat it
is to
often.
repeat it often.
Do you know the way from here to the next town by road? Do you know the way from here to the next town by road? No, I don't know. No, I don't
No,
know.
I don't know.
The way from
The way
there
from there
to the next
to the
town
next
by road.
town by road.
Yeah, soon when you go to Cebu, you can. Another, what is the best way to learn a language? What's the best way to learn a language? The best
The
way
best way
to learn a
to learn
language
a
is
language is
to study a
to
lot
study a lot
and
and
repeat,
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 and repeat.
and repeat.
Okay, another one. All right. So how often do you come here? How often do you come here? I come
I
here
come
about
here about
how many times? 100 times a week.
100 times a week.
Yeah. How often do you go to the cinema? How often do you go to the cinema? I go to
I
the
go to
cinema
the
about
cinema about
once a year.
once a year.
Yep. How often do we live? How often do we live? We only live once.
We only live once.
Live once.
Live once.
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 Yep. How often do you text your friends? How often do you text your friends? I text my friends
Text my
about
friends about
how long? How many
how long?
times? How often?
Every
How,
day.
every day, right? Like how long? Well, how long message? Again, is it good for the health to eat fresh fruit and vegetables? Is it good for the health to eat fresh fruit and vegetables? Yes, it's good for the
Yes, it's good
health
for the health
to eat
to
fresh
eat
fruit
fresh
and
fruit and
vegetables.
vegetables.
Yes, it's time to change your doctor. Okay, another. So, which is healthier to have at your lunch, chips or salad? Which is healthier to have at your lunch, chips or salad? Salad is
Salad
healthier
is healthier
to have at our
to
lunch.
have
With our
with
lunch,
the lunch.
our lunch,
With our lunch.
our lunch,
Our lunch.
and then chips.
Then chips.
Yep. Is it healthy to go to bed late every day? Is it healthy to go to bed late every day? No, it isn't
No, it
healthy
isn't healthy
to go to bed
to go to
late
bed late
every day.
every day.
It's
It's
unhealthy
unhealthy
to go to
to
bed
go to
late
bed late
every day.
every day.
Yep, me. Let's have a little bit of mathematics. 2 plus 2 equals 7. Do you agree? 2 plus 2 equals 7. Do you agree? No, I
No,
don't
I don't
agree.
agree.
That 2 plus
That
2
2 plus
equals
2 equals
7.
7.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Yep, do you agree that Paris is an ugly place? Do you agree that Paris is an ugly place? No, I don't
No, I
agree.
don't agree.
That Paris
That
is
Paris is
an ugly
an
place.
ugly place.
I
I
disagree.
disagree.
Yep, do you always agree with everything people say? Do you always agree with everything people say? No, I don't
No, I
always
don't
agree
always agree
with everything
with
people
everything
say.
people say.
Sometimes I agree,
Sometimes I agree,
and
and
sometimes I
sometimes I
disagree.
disagree.
Yep, which is right to say I agree or I'm agree. Which is right to say I agree or I'm agree. It's right to
It's
say
right to say I
I.
agree.
Yep, that's correct. Another mathematics. 14 plus 80 equals 94. What am I doing? 14 plus 80 equals 94. What am I doing? You are adding
You're adding
14
14
and 80.
and 80.
Is it complicated to add numbers 15 and 30 together? Is it complicated to add numbers 13, or let's say 15 and 30 together? No, it
No,
isn't
it isn't
complicated
complicated
to add the
to
numbers
add the
15,
number 15,
numbers 15
numbers 15
and 30
and
together.
30 together.
It's simple.
It's simple.
No, so copy the mistake like that. Callan, copy. Repeat. Yeah, it's just a practice though, right? Another one. So what do we sometimes add to our tea and coffee? What do we sometimes add to our tea and coffee? We
We
sometimes add
sometimes add
milk and sugar
milk and sugar
to our tea
to
and
our tea
coffee.
and coffee.
Yeah, what do we add to a regular verb to form its past tense? What do we add to a regular verb to form its past tense? We add
We add
letters
letters
ed
ed to
a regular
our
verb
regular verb
to form its past
from
tense. To form its
to
past
form its
tense.
past tense. Past tense.
Even yours. Like, what am I saying? Like, and can you jump over the table with both your feet together? Could you jump over that table with both your feet together? Yes, I can jump over
Yes, I can jump over
this table,
with table
this table,
with
this
this
table
table
with both my
with
feet
both my
together.
feet together.
Yep, can you jump up and touch the ceiling? Can you jump and touch the ceiling? Yes, I can jump
Yes,
up
I can jump up
and touch
and
the
touch
ceiling.
the ceiling
Why? Why? Because I'm
because
too
I'm
tall.
too tall.
I know. Another. Can you jump as high as a house? Can you jump as high as a house? I can
No,
jump
I can't jump
as high
as
as a
high as
house.
a house.
Yep, only an example, right? So here I'm gonna be having my table. So this is my table. I'm at the corner of it. So only an example. What's this? What's this? It's a
It's a
corner of
corner of
the what? Of the table.
the table.
Yep. Okay, I will repeat that part because my table is down. So let me just have this one. So what's this? What's this? It's a
It's
corner
a
of
corner of
the
the
table.
table.
Are you sitting in a corner of that room? Are you sitting in the corner of that room? Yes, no.
No,
No, I'm not
I'm not
sitting
sitting
in the corner
in
of
the
this
corner
room.
of this room.
Of this
Of
room.
this room.
Yep. Can you sit at the corner of a round table? Can you sit at the corner of a round table? No, I can't sit
No, I can't sit
at the corner
at a
of
corner of
a round
a
table.
round table
Yep. Why not? Why not? Because
because
a round
a
table
round table
has no
has no
corners.
corners.
Yep. Only an example. I'm standing at the corner of the table, right? Only an example. So where am I standing? Where am I standing? You're
You're
standing
standing
at the
at the
corner
corner of
of the
the
table.
table.
Yeah, this time I'm here, okay? I'm somewhere here. Yep, this one. So where am I standing? Where am I standing? You're
You're
standing
standing
in the corner of the
near the
room.
corner of the room.
That's correct. Very good room. Okay, another. So can we go by ship from Paris to Milan? Can we go by ship from Paris to Milan? No, we can't
No, we
go
can't
by
go by
ship from
ship from
Paris
Paris
to Milan.
to Milan
Why not? Why not? Because both
because
cities
both
are
cities are
inland.
inland.
Is a boat larger than a ship? Is a boat larger than a ship? No, a
Sh-
boat isn't. No, a ship
no,
isn't.
a ship isn't.
No, a boat
No, a
isn't.
boat.
No, a boat isn't. No, a boat
No,
isn't
boat isn't
larger than a ship.
larger than a ship.
It's smaller than
It's
a ship.
smaller than a ship.
Yep. This is what I love about Callan. Yep. Are we almost at the end of the lesson? Are we almost at the end of the lesson? Yes, we are
Yes, we are
almost
almost
at the end of
at
the
the end of
lesson.
the lesson.
Does almost everybody in that country have a mobile phone? Does almost everybody in that country have a mobile phone? Yes, almost
Yes,
everybody
almost everybody
in this country. in this
in this
country
country
has a mobile
has
phone.
mobile phone.
Mobile phone.
Mobile
Mobile.
phone.
Yes. Another. Where do we generally see people sitting at desks? Where do we generally see people sitting at desks? We generally
We
see
generally see
people sitting at
people sitting
desks.
at the
People sitting at
people
desks
sitting at desks
in offices
in
and
offices and
classrooms.
classrooms.
In some jobs, can people work from home instead of going to an office? In some jobs, can people work from home instead of going to an office? Yes,
Yes.
yes. In some jobs,
Uh,
in some
in some
jobs,
jobs,
people can work
people
from
can
home
work from home
instead of going to
instead of going to
an
an
office.
office.
Is it easier to get a good job in your country if you speak English? Is it easier to get a good job in your country if you speak English? Yes, it's
Yes,
easier.
it's easier to
Easier
easier
to get a good
to
job
get a good job
in my
in
country
my country
if you speak
if you
English.
speak English.
Yep. When does next season start? When does next season start? Next
Next
season
season
starts on the
starts on the
1st of
1st of
June, July,
June.
August, June. Okay, another. When's your birthday? When's your birthday? My
My
birthday is on the
birthday's on the
when?
uh,
22nd of
22nd of
October.
October.
October. October. Another. What do you say to people on birthday? What do we say to people on their birthday? We say happy
We say
birthday
happy birthday
to people
to
on their
people
birthday.
on their birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Okay, another. What can we say when we meet a friend? What can we say when we meet a friend? When we meet a
When we meet
friend,
a friend,
we can say
we can
hi.
say hi.
How are you?
How are you?
Yep, I'm okay. What can we do when we meet somebody for the first time? What can we do when we meet somebody for the first time? When we meet
When we
somebody
meet
for the first
somebody for
time,
the first time,
we can say
we can
hello.
say hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And shake
And
hands
shake
with them.
hands with them.
Yep. When you go to meet somebody, do you always arrive early? When you go to meet somebody, do you always arrive early? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes. When I go to meet
When I go to
somebody,
meet somebody,
I always arrive early.
I always arrive
Early.
early.
So what is the difference between bring and take? What's the difference between bring and take? The
The
difference
difference
between
between
bring and take
bring
is
and
that
take is that
bring means
bring means
carry here,
carry here,
whereas take
whereas take
means
means
carry there.
carry there.
Yep. So bring your book to me, please, me. So what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm bringing
I'm
my book
bringing my book
to you.
to you.
Yep. So take the book, please, and give it to her, please. Right? Again, take your book to her, please. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm
I'm
taking my book
taking my book
to her.
to her.
Give me a sentence with bring it, please. Give me a sentence with bring it, please. I bring
I
my
bring my
bag
bag
to the lesson
to
with
the
me.
lesson with me.
Give me a sentence with taking it, please. Give me a sentence with taking it, please. I take
I
my
take my
bag
bag
home with
home
me
with me
after lesson.
after the lesson.
Yep. Only an example, I'm taking my book into the corridor. Bye bye. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You're
taking your
taking
book
your book
into the
into
corridor.
the corridor.
Yep. So from the corridor, I'm bringing back. So what am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You're
bringing your book
bringing your book
into the
into the
classroom.
classroom.
Yep. Do you bring a pen with you to school? Do you bring a pen with you to school? Yes, I bring a
Yes, I bring
pen
a pen
with me to
with
school.
me to school.
Yep. Do you take this book home with you after lesson? Only an example. Do you take this book home with you after lesson? No, I don't
No, I
take
don't
that book
take that book
with me
with
after
me
lesson.
after the lesson.
The
The
lesson.
lesson.
Why not? Why not? Because it
Because
isn't
it isn't
mine.
mine.
Yep. Do you bring any food with you to school? Do you bring any food with you to school? Yes, no?
No,
No, I don't bring
I
any
don't
food
bring any food
with me to
with
school.
me to school.
Do you take a camera with you when you go on holiday? Do you take a camera with you when you go on holiday? Yes, no? No, I don't take
I don't
camera with
take
me.
camera with me.
I don't take a
I don't
camera with
take a
me
camera with me
when I go on holiday.
when I go holiday.
On holiday.
On holiday.
Yep. So what do you bring with you to school? What do you bring with you to school? I bring my
I
pen
bring my
with me
pen with me
to school.
to school.
Yep. Do you speak English quite well? Do you speak English quite well? Yes, I speak English.
Yes,
Do
I
you speak
speak
English
English
quite well?
quite well.
Quite well, right? Another, do you go to the cinema quite often? Do you go to the cinema quite often? No, I
No,
don't
I
go to
don't
the
go to
cinema
the cinema
very often.
very often.
Yep. Yeah, do you think learning English is quite easy, quite difficult, or very difficult? Do you think learning English is quite easy, quite difficult, or very difficult? I think
I
learning
think
English
learning
is
English is very difficult.
very easy. And another is pure water bad for the body. Is pure water bad for the body? No, pure
No,
water
pure water
isn't
isn't
bad for the
bad
body.
for the body.
It's good for the
It's
body.
good for the body.
Yep. Is the one we buy in the shops always pure? Is the one we buy in the shops always pure? No, the one we
No, the
buy
wine we buy
in the
in the
shops
shops
isn't always
isn't
pure.
always pure.
Sometimes it's
Sometimes
pure,
it's pure,
and sometimes
sometimes
it's
it's
impure.
impure.
Yep. Do you ever promise to give something to somebody and then not give it? Do you ever promise to give something to somebody and then not give it? Yes, no?
Yeah.
I sometimes
I
promise
sometimes promise
to give
to
something
give
to
something
somebody
to somebody
and then
and
not give
then
it.
not give it.
Do you always do what you promise to do? Do you always do what you promise to do? Yes, no? No.
No,
No, I don't always
I
do
don't always do
what I promise to
what I
do.
promise to do.
Another are waiters and waitresses always polite to people in restaurants? Are waiters and waitresses always polite to people in restaurants? No, waiters and
Waiters and
waitresses
waitresses
aren't always
aren't
polite
always polite
to people in
to people
restaurants.
in restaurants.
Sometimes they're polite
Sometimes they are polite
and
and
sometimes they're
sometimes they're
impolite.
impolite.
Shout out to waiters and waitresses. Please be kind. Okay, another. So are teenagers generally more polite than adults? Are teenagers generally more polite than adults? No,
No,
teenagers aren't
teenagers aren't
generally more
generally
polite
more polite
than adults.
than adults.
They're
They
generally
generally
less polite than
less
adults.
polite than adults.
Than
Than
adults.
adults.
Than an adult. Don't know. Okay, another. Let's have the word excuse me. When we want to speak to somebody we don't know, me, what's the first thing we generally say? When we want to speak to somebody we don't know, what's the first thing we generally say? When we want to
When we
speak
want to
to
speak to
somebody we don't
somebody we
know,
don't know,
the first thing we
the
generally say,
first thing we generally say
is
is
excuse me.
excuse me.
Excuse me, so cute. Another, give an example. Let's give an example. Please excuse me.
Excuse me,
Can you tell me the way
can you tell me the way
to the
to the
station,
station,
please?
please?
Congratulations! That's the end of stage 3. So, are you ready for your stage 4 soon?
Yay!
Yay! Where's my flag? I'm going to race. Yay! Yeah, congratulations, me, because you're going to be having stage 4 again for full stage revision, right? So, would you like to proceed? Nope. So, anyways, thank you so much, Mia, for today's lesson, right? So, have a good day then. Bye.